Impact's work is underpinned by its theory of change. That's an approach that sets out what we're trying to achieve and how we're going about trying to achieve those things. With a centre like Impact, though, the outcomes are often very long term. So theories of change often set out short, medium, and longer term outputs or things that you would see if the centre as a whole was starting to head in the right direction. Theories of change are used quite a lot in the social sciences, but often, in our view, they don't pay sufficient attention to the context in which the intervention or the project is taking place. So, our theory of change spends some time talking through key features of the adult social care context, as well as key features of Impact's broader approach before it even gets into what success would look like or how we knew we were heading in the right direction. We then have a series of activities that shape what Impact does. Our networks, facilitators, demonstrators, and Ask Impact service, our commitment to learning local lessons through those delivery models and then trying to find ways to embed them in national policy and practice. And all the things that you would expect to see that underpin a national centre like Impact, its leadership and management and governance and its operational details and so on. When we consulted the sector on what they wanted Impact to see, they were really clear that they didn't want more evidence and they didn't want training to understand the evidence that was out there. Under key mechanisms, they wanted three things: practical support to bring about evidence-informed change on the ground, support to enable the participation of seldom heard voices, particularly people who draw on care and support, carers and frontline practitioners. And they wanted to bring together people to work on those practical changes together to co-create change. And all three of those things are built into everything that Impact does. However, they're also underpinned by a number of other things which we think are really important to achieving Impact's desired aims. We have a very inclusive definition of evidence, which includes research, lived experience and practice knowledge. The delivery staff who will be working across the UK to embed evidence-informed change on the ground bring lots of facilitation and OD skills, and that feels really, really important. We're trying to build capacity in a number of different ways, including via a series of what we've described as hybrid roles, people who work across research, policy and practice and who are supported and encouraged to develop their careers in a more cross-cutting way than perhaps is usually common. Impact has a strong commitment to co-production and to tackling power imbalances. And all our delivery projects have a local theory of change and evaluation built into them. So we're learning lessons at local level as well as a centre as a whole. Those projects will also plan to take lessons learned and embed them in the national policy and practice systems from the start, so that we're thinking about embedding and scaling from the very beginning. And some of our ways of working will be helped by the depth and breadth of our networks and relationships, and by the work that we're doing to try and align Impact with current and future policy agendas. We think those kind of activities delivered in those kinds of ways will start to lead to the outputs set out in the theory of change, evidence that connects more fully to people's values, the reasons why they came into job in the first place, or the way in which people want to live their lives. We'd start to see a diverse range of people involved in Impact locally and nationally, and really excited about what's possible by working in more evidence-informed ways. We'd see people who were feeling that Impact is helping them with things that they have to do and that they find hard, and people starting to see that evidence can make a difference to their work and to people's lives. We'd also see a situation in which research, lived experience and practice knowledge were starting to be seen as three different but complementary ways of seeing the world, all important in their own right. In the medium term, we think you'll start to see more sustainable and more productive relationships between different people involved in adult social care, working together to bring about change and to improve outcomes. You'd start to see a workforce with more skills and capacity to work with evidence of different kinds as they bring about change. And we'd see greater understanding of the factors that help and hinder when we're thinking about implementation of evidence in practice in the realities of adult social care. And that would all take us to our final outcome, if you like, more widespread use of evidence, leading to better care across social care systems and leading to better outcomes for people who draw on care and support, their families and communities. That theory of change that we have guides everything that we do. It will evolve as Impact's work and its thinking evolves, so it's a live document rather than a one-off. But hopefully this has been a helpful explanation just to bring the diagram to life.